Come, let us prepare, make some good profits today. Our market left us big clues right here. Let's talk about that in today's video. Right here as well, and also this very important level, I want to talk about that. So pay close attention to today's video. No surprise, isn't it? Right? We firstly talked about the bounce on Monday, and I mentioned the possibility, especially when we have not cleared the moving averages, of a dump on Tuesday. And just take a look, we'd had that spectacular pre-market dump right there, and a big part of that is understanding this. If you watched yesterday's video, you would have understood about this yellow, right? I mentioned how the market just rejected that. Obviously massive one. It's a massive one. There is obviously not always the case like that, but yesterday happened. I provided some context, so please watch yesterday's video if you have not. The links is in the description. It's helpful for you to catch up to the daily analysis, so you're able to understand how to be preparing ahead. So please watch it if you have not later after this video. But I want to talk about very important levels here, right? Because where do we go from here? The market's a little confused, and you're not, because you understand how to be looking out for the liquidity and understanding the intraday algorithms here. So now let's talk about the intraday algorithms, because once you understand the algorithms here, this becomes very straightforward for you. Now, Discord members, please do check out the EOD summary here. This is a summary of all the live analysis that I made throughout the day. So it helps you in your review, and you can be able to learn more that way. Now, this particular trade here is absolutely beautiful. Now, at this point here, I want you to read this, Discord members, at about 10 o'clock. Read it later. I mentioned how that with this teal here, you have to be very careful about shorting this. Right, so 10 o'clock was about here. This was about 10 a.m. Right, exactly when I mentioned this, this analysis here. Right, now, I wrote this: if it trends down in teal, you're in trouble. So if it's not head and shoulder pattern, try not to short this, try not to trade this. And you see why, because once you identify the teal, right, and this was at 10:03, right, exactly the same time as well. So 10:03 right there, you see it for yourself. 10:03 was here. So understanding the teal was very, very important, and it prevented you from shorting this further, because you see that the teal was just trying to build liquidity here. You see how it built that head and showed a pattern. This one, beautiful right nested shoulder here, and we broke out of that. Very beautiful trade right here. As long as you understand how to be identifying the liquidity, and most importantly the teal algorithm here. So understanding this, right, you will see a very beautiful trade here. This one all the way to the yellow. This was a 5-point trade, literally within minutes. So Discord members, please do review later. I want you to review this, understand why my decision not to short here. You have to understand this teal algorithm here, right? But regardless, even if you miss that trade, so be it, because there was another beautiful trade right here that I want to show you at this 12:09 here. Now 12:09 was about here. This was 12:09 in the afternoon, right? I talked about how this could be a perfect handle. See the timestamp for yourself and understand the perfect handle that's being built by the pink algorithm right there. So once you're able to understand how the teal was building liquidity for the pink, right here, you see how beautiful that structure was. And you see how pink just beautifully built the liquidity there, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful, especially grabbing the liquidity here on the way up. A beautiful buying continuation structure all the way to the top here. So once again, this is a classic, very classic cup, and the reason why I said it's the perfect handle, right? So once you're able to see it, you cannot unsee it, especially with the pink here, right? Absolutely beautiful. So I talked about this in one of the training videos, so please do check it out as well, right? Plenty of videos with resources in the link below. There are free resources available as well, and hundreds of videos for you to watch and learn. Most importantly, if you want to learn this, just watch the videos daily, right? Trade together with me, watch the videos daily, understand my thought process, and from there you will get better at trading. Now, my duty is to ensure that you stop gambling by trading recklessly or trading without knowledge. So you have to learn this. It's a lifetime skill. Take your time to learn this, right? When the market's not going anywhere, there's no need for you to rush to learn this. So learn it properly. Plenty of resources in the description. Go check it out and learn the proper way to trade and stop losing money. Stop pissing off your money. Stop wasting money. You have to learn it the proper way. Yeah. So anyway, you notice we have been trending up in this orange algorithm in the 1 minute chart, and I want you to see this, right? If there is continuation, can you see this? Right, so let's see if the market builds another handle, but yet at the same time there is splendid liquidity here. I want to talk about that. So that's where we go from here, right? So pay close attention at this point here. Technically speaking, we are still in that orange. So you see the orange selling there now. Now, one reason about the bounce as well earlier on is this green algorithm. Now remember, I talked about this green algorithm here that's building a little liquidity at the top and gave us a rejection of the moving averages. Can you see the exact same penny perfect green liquidity here in the bounce, right? So if you saw this earlier, you would be slightly more careful, especially at a major yellow 670 level as well. So having very clear levels and the algorithms, especially in the 30-minute chart, is extremely important as well. If you're a newer trader, you have to be glancing at the 30-minute chart quite regularly. So now let's see, where do we go from here, right? So you see that we are buying up in that green. Best case scenario is if we continue grinding up in that green, nothing changes. So you pay close attention to that. In the event that we lack liquidity, you see market required to build liquidity here. So this is where you see the possibility of that liquidity that may need to be built. Grabbing the liquidity on the way up like that. So this is what you see in the 1 minute chart with the pink algorithm here as well. Right, if market wants to build more liquidity, if it requires more liquidity and wants to go up, right, so this is exactly what you need to be looking out for, right? Market grabs this 680 especially. So this 680 level is extremely important. Pay close attention to that. Just keep it in your radar tomorrow, or if it wants to grab it on the way up. Now ideally, we grab it together with the orange as it continues to break up here. So that's ideal, but if it doesn't, it does it early, that's fine as well, right? You want to see the buying, you see the strong buying in the green, right? So you want to see it buying up in the green, ultimately to re-grab the liquidity here, where your 20-day and your 5-day moving average will be. Now let me just take a quick look where 5-day will open. 5-day will trend down slightly tomorrow, so that's something you want to pay close attention to, right? If 5-day trends down, probably a couple of points, so it's not that dramatic, but it's still a great confirmation for us to use. So for example, if it trends down to this magenta level here, you want to see more liquidity grabbing this magenta, and ultimately the 20-day will be where the green algorithm will be. Right, so pay close attention to these two very important levels together with the orange on the break here. This is at 680, right? This will be, so the orange break 680, the magenta with the 5-day, and the green with the 20-day. Right, so pay close attention to these key levels here if the market wants to grab this liquidity on the way up here. Right, pay close attention to that. Now, if this wants to head down, you do see splendid liquidity that's being built, and it's being built by that magenta algorithm right there. Right, so if you want to play safe, waiting for cups to close will be the way to go. Right, so waiting for cups to close here, especially off this orange at this 675 yellow. Right, building some structure here before we start, continuing the way down, retesting this blue. If this wants to head down, orange is fine, but at breaks of certain key levels, you want to see green activating here as well. All right, so pay close attention. This wants to head down. You will not miss it. Just take it algorithm by algorithm, and more importantly, level by level. Now, remember I mentioned right at the start, if this wants to dump, you will not miss the blue. Right, you see blue building liquidity all the time, and so once again we have a blue algorithm here. Right, just be more mindful here, especially if we do have that orange. There is some nice structure here, especially if we reject the 5-day early. Right, some liquidity here, so pay close attention to the liquidity here. There is some liquidity at 675, and one more here near 670 and 673 level with the orange algorithm there. Right, so quite important liquidity levels you have to pay close attention to as we reach the midweek on Wednesday. Still got a long week ahead for us, so take your time, don't rush this. Right, you see certain liquidity wedges forming. You see 5-day maybe trending down. Remember I told you, if this wants to head down, bottom Bollinger starts trending down together with 5-day, and they will build that sort of liquidity down together. But you see that the bottom Bollinger is starting to plateau again, right? This is great because the upper Bollinger becomes an easy target if it trends down. If it wants to reclaim the moving averages to retest the upper Bollinger again. And so just be more careful. Wait for the 5-day. That's always a strong indicator of where the liquidity will be. So we may see it starting to trend down tomorrow. So pay close attention to all these key levels. Right, prepare ahead, please. Please prepare. Right, it's so much easier to start trading in the 1-minute chart and following through the analysis, especially once you prepare for the macro structure. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you closer to opening bell.